Oh, so I want us to have a frank conversation today. One thing that I'm learning as I'm evolving in business and growing in business, like you transcend from levels to levels. In the very, very beginning, you get this idea of, I want to live a different lifestyle. I want to make different money. I want to have control of my time in a different capacity that I can't get in a 9-to-5 job. That's where a lot of this starts, with this desire for more. And you go down this road of this desire for more, and you start to explore and test ideas and figure out this world of business, right? Figure out what's really required for you to be able to take this idea that you have and turn it into something that actually can generate income and generate money, right? And then you have to get to a point where you have to make a very clear and distinct conscious decision. Are you just looking to make more money, or are you looking to grow a business? Are you looking to build an entity that exists beyond just you? And that's a very fine line in making that transition from I just want to make more money to I want to build a business. They're two very different things. And I want us to have a frank conversation about it, because when students enroll in my program Services That Sell, when students hire me, I'm praying that I'm attracting clientele that wants to make more money because they have the aim and the goal of building a business, not that they just want to make more money. And what I mean by, are you an individual who just wants to make more money? Meaning, are you trying to build a glorified side hustle? Like, are you trying just to build a 6-figure side hustle? Even though you may be making 6 figures and you may be full-time in your business, you still may be operating your business like a side hustle, meaning that you don't have contracts, that you don't have terms and conditions that you have your client sign, that you don't speak to legal counsel on a somewhat of a regular basis, that you don't have clean books. That is a side hustle to me. Your side hustle may be making money. You may be generating revenue. You may be having a side hustle that makes 6 figures a year. But are you treating it like a legitimate business, or are you treating it like this thing that you just do to make extra money to support and fund your lifestyle? And there's no shade in either way that you want to go, but you just have to make a decision on which one it is that you want to do and act accordingly. And the reason why this is coming up for me is I'm at a point in my business where, we're making multiple 6 figures a year, and I'm having to have very different conversations and make very different choices. Like, what business entity makes sense for my tax advantages? I've recently put myself on payroll. So now Jerisha Hawk gets a paycheck every week. Like, because I don't want to just have a glorified side hustle. Like, even the investment choices you make when you get to this level, when you're making a decision, do you just want to have a 6-figure hustle, or do you want to build a business that like legitimately grows beyond just you? Like, do you want to build a 7-figure revenue? Do you want to be making multiple 7 figures a year? You're going to make very different choices if you're making that route. Like, growth and your profit margins will look different at different stages in your business if you choose to go down the ladder. So I'm bringing this up for you because I'm starting to feel friction in my own life, in my own business, with how I make decisions, because there's a part of me that wants to make decisions like I'm just running a 6-figure side hustle, where like I'm having friction with my hiring process, friction with team members. Why? Because I'm now having to make different choices, right? I'm having to choose, am I hiring a contractor who's also juggling 4 or 5 other clients? Or is it time for me to start hiring employees who have dedicated attention to the Hawk Hustle headquarters? Am I, again, business entity? Am I just trying to stay as an LLC? Or now I'm an S Corp because I'm now on payroll. There's different tax advantages. Now that I'm an entrepreneur and like my business funds my lifestyle, the way that I buy a home, the way that I manage my personal credit looks so different now than when I was a W-2 employee. Other decisions like that are coming up now, investment decisions, how I look at investments, how I look at hiring, and paying for access to be in certain rooms. Because a lot of the people that I have associated with myself with up until this point are 6-figure side hustlers, meaning that they're building a lifestyle business, which again, there is no shade in that. You just have to make a choice. Are you building a lifestyle business, or are you building like an enterprise? And because the decisions that you make will look very different. You know, if you are building a 6-figure side hustle where you are literally just trying to generate revenue to support the lifestyle that you want, to pay for the car that you want, to pay for the house that you want, to go on the family vacation once a year, and to put enough away in your Roth IRA at the end of the year so you have somewhat of a retirement type of situation, you're going to make very, very, very different decisions if you're building a lifestyle business versus if you are building an enterprise. And one thing I want you to do, since you are all business owners or aspiring business owners, you are interfacing with clientele. If you are building a side hustle versus if you are building a business, you got to have your shit in order. Like if you are building a business, you need to have your stuff in order. Meaning, like, when you are, one thing that's important for me to share this, because this is something that I am hoping that I'm doing a good job educating my students on. Jay getting hot. Because I'm like, listen, woo! This has been coming up a lot for me recently. And I'm like, we need to have a real ass conversation. Like, this is grown folk talk. You probably need to put your headphones on if you got a kid in the car. Like, this is grown folk conversation today. This is one, baby, be quiet now. Stay out of grown folk business. You ain't in this right now. Stop you butting in the conversation. You would stay in your place. We need to have that type of conversation today. You as a business owner, I'm talking to you now individually. You as a business owner, you need to it's just a choice. You have to make a decision. Am I running a 6-figure side hustle? Is that the aim, or am I building a business? They're both businesses, but are you building an entity? Are you building an enterprise? Are you trying to generate revenue outside, make, I don't want to say real money, but make money beyond just funding your lifestyle? And now it is a choice. Okay. I'm going to talk to the folks who are going down the choice. They want to make money beyond just their lifestyle. They want to build an entity. They want to build an enterprise. They want to build a business that exists beyond just them. You will be operating in a different business model. Just because you can sell everything and just because you can make money selling something does not mean that you should. Because if you're building a business and building an enterprise, you have to make decisions on the services that you sell that give you the opportunity to scale them long term. Okay, that is a very conscious decision you have to make. That's been something I've been transitioning into over the last 9 months. 98% of my revenue right now comes from one product. Services that sell. 98% of my income. The growth, the transitional period, there were 4 or 5 months where stuff was looking a little shaky. I was terrified to literally cut every other offer. Why am I doing that? Because I'm playing a long game. Yes, I've sold things that were $9,000, $15,000, $27. I've sold stuff the entire scope, but I made a decision. I don't want to just have a 6-figure side hustle where I can go out there and sell anything, but I want to build something that is scalable, that I can leverage, actually build a service that turns into an asset of my business. You can't do that if you are just selling everything under the sun. So that's a very conscious decision you have to make, right? And the type of business model that you are looking to implement, the type of services that you're looking to sell, the type of products that you're distributing. Are you creating something that has the opportunity that can be leveraged? Are you creating and selling a service where you're documenting a methodology, that you're documenting a framework? Or are you just out here hustling clients, meaning that you got somebody coming in and you're just kind of having to co-create and customize everything on the back end all the time? It's a choice. It is a choice. I made a decision about 9 months ago, 12 months ago. I'm like, I don't want this just to be a 6-figure side hustle. So that means my business model has to look different. So 1, your business model has to adjust. 2, you have to enforce and you have to be operating under legal boundaries. People get into this online space, this digital space, and it is the wild, wild west. But business practices will always be business practices. They've existed for hundreds of years. Just because the internet now exists does not mean shit's just out of the window. What I mean by legal business practices, you need to have contracts. When you are exchanging money with somebody, there needs to be clear expectations on what you are committed to doing and what they are committed to doing. You need to be signing a contract. And if you are the individual right now where, Jay, I don't want to spend $200 on a contract template, get the hell off of my live stream. Why? Because if you are running a business, that is just part of running a business. You need to have contracts. You need to have people sign those contracts. You need to sign those contracts and you need to enforce your contracts. People showing up saying, Jay, I signed up for your program. I need to cancel my subscription. Bro, this ain't Netflix. This ain't Netflix. This is not a Hulu subscription where you just cancel at any time. Because why? Because you don't want to do the work? Because you like you have to, and I might be overstepping. I'm not overstepping. Damn it. We talk about this today. Y'all getting Auntie Jerisha today. Because nobody we need to have more frank and honest conversations about this. People are selling programs, teaching you how to sell a service, but are not also educating you on what it means to run a business. Because now everybody has access to a platform. Everybody has access to the internet. Anybody is capable of going online right now and just saying, hey, I want to sell services. Granted. But you also need to understand how business works. If you were to go to a large corporation and you sign somebody on to do agency work for you, cancel your contract if you want to. Best believe you will be getting a check in the mail. It's called a make whole provision. You will be, if you choose to cancel a contract before your contract term is over, best believe you will still be coming out of pocket to make that person whole. It's a make whole provision. The same, like, just because people get in this online space, they just acting like, oh, and I want y'all to make it very clear when you hire me, this is not a six-figure side hustle over here. We do enforce contracts. We do enforce terms and conditions. And don't get mad at me when I do it. I'm teaching you business practices. You need to be doing this. If you get mad at me, it's probably because you're not doing it in your business. And be mad at me. My job is not to make you happy. My job is to get you results. There will be times my clients will be pissed at me. I'm all right with that. I pray to God about this. You know, if I do mess up, I will own up to my mistakes. I will correct my mistakes. I will over deliver on those mistakes. But it's not my job for you to be buddy with me. It's my job to help you get results. If you make a commitment saying, Jay, I'm ready to level up. Jay, I'm ready to start charging top dollar for my services. I'm going to teach you how to operate like a top dollar individual. And I'm going to lead by example. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes clients will cancel. Sometimes you'll need to fire clients in the middle of a contract. Sometimes you'll run a program and realize, hey, this ain't it. I need to shut this boy down. But that language also needs to be in your contract about what it looks like to cancel a partnership. What it looks like to cancel a client agreement. What happens if you cancel 3 months in, 6 months in, 9 months in? That language needs to be documented. If you're running a six-figure side hustle, you're probably not signing contracts. Why? Because you don't care. And your clients don't care. But if you are choosing to build a business, establish an entity, an enterprise outside of just yourself, you as a business owner need to have boundaries. And you need to enforce those boundaries. Yes, it is uncomfortable. I hate it. And you need to also understand what your bandwidth is on what does it look like for y'all to be flexible? What does that look like for you in your business? You need to have that. And that's something that you're going to learn. Like this stuff I'm still learning, right? And when do we give people exceptions to our contract? Like that's tough for me. Cause I'm like, do I just need to be a bulldog and like enforce this stuff? Or when do I bend? Like that's stuff that you have to decide for you and your business and what your business has capacity for. But you have to make a decision on what you're doing. You got to make a decision. When it comes to being a glorified side hustle, like I know for me, up until this point, I've only hired contractors. And one thing that I'm learning, I've hired dozens of contractors. I've hired and fired and let people go. And people have stayed on. I've had people stay for a week. I've had people stay for a year. But one thing I'm learning even with contractors is as a business owner, you need to understand the legal differences between a contractor and an employee. And you need to treat people accordingly and hold them accountable to the title that they have. But you as the business owner, you need to be educated on that. Like, and I get it. If you do not come from a corporate background, this stuff is all new territory. And even if you do come from a corporate background, if you weren't involved in the process of hiring contractors, firing contractors, hiring employees, firing employees, handling contracts, enforcing contracts, this is foreign territory. And pretty much every damn digital course out there that people are buying, ain't nobody talking about this. I get pissed because I feel like you're selling people a dream half off. This needs to be educated. This is why inside of Services That Sell, you will learn the difference between like how to make money versus having profit in your business, versus what your salary is, versus what your taxes need to be, and versus what your expenses are. And that's a base level program, a $2,000 program. You are still going to be learning like basic business finances. Why? Because I would be damned if somebody goes through my program and they out here looking foolish. Well, Jay taught me. Jay didn't. Hold up. Jay will educate you correctly. You will understand, like, just because you make money in your business, does that mean that's all money you put in your pocket? Or people tell me, Jay, well, I got to pay these Stripe fees. Bro, it's just the cost of business. Paying 2.9% for a transaction fee is the cost. It's just the cost of you making money. Jay, like, well, I'm converting $3,000 clients now. What you mean? I got to pay $70 for a fee. How can I get that off? Do I just got to increase my price? If you increase your price, the 2.9% will just be more. Y'all, it's a business expense. You can't get rid of it. Like, so, but I get, and I'm passionate right now. I am passionate. I got to calm down. I am passionate right now because I just think a lot of the time, nobody else is having these conversations. And then people show up and it's like, I got a business, but you tripping over a 2.9% transaction fee. Jay, I got a business, but you don't want to spend $150 or $300 on a business contract template to protect yourself and to protect your clients. Jay, I got a business, but I don't want to separate my money from my personal and my business account. Jay, I'm running a business, but every dollar I make, I just pocket. Jay, I'm running a business, but I don't want to talk about taxes. Bruh, the IRS is real. Just because you are making money on the internet and there's no physical exchange of product does not mean that you are exempt from Uncle Sam. It don't work like that. Oh, and listen, the IRS is cracking down because there are so many people starting businesses all out the woodworks. They have developed, and this is something that I got the tea on. This is what somebody told me at the IRS, that they have developed a whole new department that it literally is going after small business owners to more quality check their statements because people are not filing. They're like, oh, well, I just got this money in Venmo. You are, whoa. You cannot be doing business on Venmo and Cash App. I don't care if you are a lash tech. I do not care if you are a makeup artist. I do not care if you do hair. I do not care if you provide legal services. Venmo and Cash App are not the method of payment that you should have on your sales page, people. But listen, this message is going to hit on some people. This message is going to just roll off of others because, again, it depends on what your objective is. If you are building a six-figure side hustle, running your business like a drug enterprise, that's a different story. This stuff ain't going to apply to you. If you are running an illegal operation, slanging services and digital products on the corner of your local neighborhoods, enrolling clients who also have that mentality, what I'm talking about today ain't going to apply to you. Why? You're not trying to have your employees getting W-9s from your employees to make sure they get their W-9s at tax time. Drug lords don't do that. You know, you're not having people you buying your product who you moving your weight to. They're not signing contracts. Why? You don't want that documented. With your contractors, you paying them under the table. So you got to understand. So this message may not resonate with everybody because, again, you might be running a six-figure side hustle. This message ain't for you, right? If you just out here trying to slang services, put a price tag on anything, say yes to whatever people's requests are, this message ain't for you. So I know I went hard. If this ain't for you, this just ain't for you. You know, don't take this personal. Now, if you running a business and you doing some of the stuff I talked about today, we got to get it together, okay? We got to get it together. All right? So I got to go. I got to get on a call. If y'all have questions, we can continue this conversation. But I just wanted to at least drop this on y'all today. Slide in my DMs. Post in the comments. If you have any follow-up questions, we will continue this conversation. But every business owner needs to make money. Everyone who makes money is not a business owner. Which one are you? Which one are you? So I'll holler at y'all later. Have a blessed and abundant day. Woo! I ain't cussed that much in a minute. I'm glad my fiance ain't here because he hated when I cuss, but he ain't in the house today. So I let loose. But y'all just be blessed. Literally any questions you guys have, follow-up questions, or things you want me to talk about more, like we need to have this conversation. Just slide in my DMs, or if you're watching this on Facebook, post a comment on the thread of this video. Just ask what questions you want to this conversation. Y'all be blessed. I will talk to y'all soon.